Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry if like the angle or the lighting is not perfect. I have never worked harder for a background or whatever, which sounds so ridiculous because this video is about baby sleep and I thought it would be appropriate for it to be in our bed, but filming on your bed is not an easy task. So I'm sorry, but I'm not all about being perfect and perfect light and angle or whatever. I'm all about being real and honest. So if you're new here, hi. If you're not, you know that about me. I know that this is like, I'm not pro at this yet. I'm trying, but also I don't know how long my baby's going to be asleep. So I'm gonna take advantage and get this video filmed for you guys. So it's another sit down video, and it's actually a video that motivated me to start my YouTube channel. And it's a video that I've been putting off like forever because I was just telling myself like, oh, when Braylon finally sleeps through the night, then I'll film the video. Or when I finally figured out this baby magic trick to get my baby to sleep, like, then I'll film this video and I can let people know. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Braylon does not sleep through the night. Braylon is not a good sleeper. And he has given us a run for our money, and he is 9.5 months old. And I don't even know where to start because it has been like the longest, hardest journey. And I feel like this has been the hardest transition for Brett and I, is like baby sleep, which sounds like really crazy because you hear like, oh, babies, they just eat, sleep, and poop. Well, that's not true for Braylon, and we've probably lost more sleep in the past 9 months than we've probably lost like a year of sleep in 9 months. Like, I'm not kidding you, which doesn't even make sense. Like, we don't get good rest. It's getting better, but I wanted to be able to like post this video and be like, here's the answer, this works. But guess what? Nothing has really worked for us. So yay! I know it's not helpful, but it's real. And I get really frustrated because I go on like YouTube and I have so many mommy follower or vlogger channels that I love to watch, and it's like, oh, my baby sleeps 12 hours through the night. Oh, my baby sleeps 13 hours through the night. Oh, my baby wakes up at 7 a.m., which is like 7 a.m., y'all, is like gold. If we get a 7 a.m. wake up, it's like we just slept till 11 a.m. and like real people world. Like, I'm not kidding you. 7:30 is sleeping in, or 7 is sleeping in. Or I'll watch people like, oh yeah, it's 8:30 and he's still not up, and I'm like, what? Mine's getting ready for his first freaking nap. So luckily, like, I am a morning person, so that has helped, but oh Lord, like, I've put this off so long that I just like don't even, I kind of am like blurred to all of like the beginning stages, but it's honestly like just slowly gotten just a little bit better. But from the get-go, Braylon has like never been a really great napper. And I don't know if half of that is my fault because I never laid him down for any nap in his crib until, I don't know, maybe like 2.5, 3 months. I just like to snuggle him, but I will probably do that with my next baby too. I might lay the next baby down for at least one nap, but and I probably won't be able to snuggle the next baby because I will have a toddler. And so I won't be able to do that. So I just really knew that this was like, you know, a good opportunity and that I'll never, you know, get back. So I snuggled him, or I would wrap him, but that made it really hard for him to take naps in his crib. He was like a chronic 30-minute napper until he was like 8 months, and I'm not even kidding you. And so we were constantly dealing with an overtired, cranky baby. And that is like the hardest, most frustrating thing in the world, because I'm telling you guys, like, I would spend hours, my whole life was consumed in reading books, reading blogs, following all these Instagram, we bought classes, it's like all of these things, and we would do all of these things to a T, and I'm not kidding you, it did not work for Braylon. And at a point, as a mom, I can only let my baby scream for so long. And we tried the cry it out. Like, I'm telling you people, we've tried it all. And he would cry for long periods of time, but at some point I just can't take it anymore and I feel guilty. And so we would go get him, or I would go in there and try to put him back to sleep or calm him down. But even if like all the sleep training methods, like, okay, let your when your baby wakes up from, if they wake up early from a nap, then just keep them in there. Well, this kid would just scream and scream and scream and scream and scream and not go back to sleep. And so I would max at nap time do like 20 minutes of him like screaming, and if he didn't fall back asleep, I'd go get him. And like 20 minutes, that is so long. Longest 20 minutes of my entire life. So it just, like, it didn't work with Braylon. It didn't. And I think for months like 3 to 5, I was rocking him for his naps. Which you're not supposed to do. I know, I'm new, I'm learning, okay? And whatever. But I would rock him to sleep, lay him in his crib. He'd wake up 30 minutes later. Then I'd go get him, and then I'd rock him back to sleep for another like 30 minutes to an hour, because he was only getting 30-minute windows of rest. And so yeah, constant overtired baby. Ugh, not fun, not good. So eventually, like, I just when we did sleep training, like, it did work to teach him how to put himself to sleep. I mean, he still struggles. Like last night, it took him 30 minutes to put himself to sleep. Now that he's like mobile, he's like standing up, crawling around. So we don't ever put him to sleep in the crib unless he like nurses to sleep or something, but that's like rare. But he always lays down awake, which is what I've learned, and I will do different for my next baby. I'll try my best, like, not to nurse to sleep or rock to sleep, like let them figure out how to self-soothe, because I do think that would have helped our sleep journey just a little bit. But eventually, I guess with the naps, like, Braylon has just figured it out. He does every so often still give us a 30-minute nap, but usually they're about an hour, which is still not great. Most babies should be getting like at his age, should be getting 3 to 4 hours of nap a day, and he takes 2 naps, and they usually range an hour a nap, so he's getting 2 hours. Still not great though. Most babies take like 1 2-hour or multiple 2-hour naps, and so I'm not complaining though, because we got past the 30-minute window, which was so extremely hard. It was the most frustrating thing, and like, as a mom, I literally couldn't get anything done, and I was constantly exhausted. I couldn't even take a nap myself. Everybody would be like, Maya, just sleep when he sleeps. And I'm like, he doesn't sleep. I can't sleep when he sleeps. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. And so, yeah, we waited it out. It was long. It was hard. It was defeating. The thing about Braylon is he will not just sleep anywhere. He needs a dark room, sound machine, like, you name it, kid's gotta have it. He's not a flexible sleeper. We did a car seat nap yesterday, and it's like rough. I was literally over the car seat nursing him. I'm not kidding you, while the car was moving. But he was screaming so hard that he couldn't breathe. Kid just doesn't like the car seat. He's just really fun. He just is giving us a run for our money. So, sleep is really hard, but we're getting there with naps. If it's an hour-and-a-half nap, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm able to get so much done. So I am happy to say and report back that, like, you just have to be consistent with like the times that you lay them down, and really watch the wake windows. That's the big thing that I do. I tried so hard to get this kid on a schedule, and it just, like, it drained me, because he was never on that schedule, and so I was constantly trying to get him on this schedule, and he was never on it, and I was like, oh, I want this kid to be on this schedule, and he was never on it. And so I would get frustrated. I'd get mad at him, because I'm like, why can you not do this? And then it's like, wait, you're not a clock, you're a baby, so I can't be mad at you. So I just, like, went with goodbye schedule, because he doesn't wake up at the same time every morning. He's not consistent. His naps are not consistent, so you never really know with him, honestly. He keeps us on our toes. So I just watch his wake windows, and that's what I really suggest, is like being mindful of if you're a new mom, like my baby's really struggling. Look up Take a Care Babies. I did buy her class, her 3 to 4 month class. I am too cheap to buy her class that she has for my baby's age. It's like 7 to 24 months. I'm too cheap. I'm not spending $200 on a class. I really am not. And maybe I probably would have a baby that slept through the night if I did, but I'm so cheap. So that's my problem. Maybe if I would invest some more money in it, but like $200 in a class? I don't know. Also, my husband would be like, no, we'll just figure it out, which we are 9.5 months in and we still haven't figured it out. So we might crack and buy it. And if we do, I'll let you know. We rambled for like 10 minutes. So I'm going to talk about nighttime sleep. And I'm going to talk about it as fast as I can because these videos can be really boring. But if you're a new mom and you're like me and you just like to see something that's real, like real life sleep struggles, we deal with them. He's not a perfect baby that goes down, falls asleep, sleeps for 2 hours. Not him. And if you have a baby like that, help or enjoy it all, because I would pay money. But then again, I just said I wouldn't pay money for a sleep class, so maybe I wouldn't pay money. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about nighttime sleep. So Braylon is always bedtime, like we've always been super consistent, even from like when he got home from the hospital. Like that week we started 8 o'clock, 8:30 sometimes. We always started bedtime, and we have slowly moved it up because like his naps are so sucky that we have to put him down a little bit earlier, but we've been able to push his bedtime. So usually he goes down around 7:30. It was 6:30 for a while because he was like the worst napper, which yeah, you know. But anyway, so, and he always from beginning gave us a really good long stretch, even from like newborn. But it was like since we've had him at 3 o'clock, it's a party, and we never know what it's going to be like 3 a.m. and on. And so for the majority of the time I would feed, but he doesn't really nurse to sleep, and so he wouldn't go back to sleep. So I'd feed him even when he was in our room, feed him, put him down, and he would just cry. Tried to rock him. I'm gonna be honest, he laid on my chest from like 4 to 6 a.m. For a solid month and a half while we were when he was in our room, because it was the only time he wasn't screaming. I wouldn't really fall asleep because I literally couldn't, because I was so anxious, but my husband needed to sleep because he was working, and so we just had to do what worked. So he slept on my chest, and then we had to break that habit. And when we moved him to his crib, we were literally laying in his room. Brett did a lot of that, but we were like laying on the floor in his bed, or in his bedroom, trying to like comfort him and like rock him, pat him, do whatever to get him back to sleep, because he just doesn't go back to sleep. And then we got in a good routine of like, okay, he'll wake up, he sleeps through the night, not through the night, but like he sleeps until like 3 to 4, sometimes 5, and then we feed him, put him back down. But a lot of the time he just doesn't go back down. Sometimes he does. We just literally never know. And that's the hardest thing, is like it's not consistent. And so will I wake up at 4 a.m. or will I wake up at 6 a.m.? He has slept through the night 2 times in his entire life without getting up for milk. And so I'm like looking forward to that day, because I have so many friends who have all these babies who sleep through the night. It's like I don't think my body knows how to sleep through the night. And that's a whole nother struggle, like I've talked about on here, is like my sleep is like totally just like gone down, because I'm constantly like just like, okay, this is gonna happen, and then what if this happens, and if he doesn't go back to sleep, then our day's gonna be awful, and this is gonna be off, and this nap is gonna suck, and it's like just goes on and on and on, and my brain just goes, and I can't go back to sleep. And so a lot of sleep issues are happening at the Watkins household, and we are nowhere close to having this figured out. But you know what? That's the whole point of my channel, is to be honest and real. And I don't have to have the answers, to be honest with you guys, or to just like be like, this is our struggle, honestly, like, and it's hard, but you're not alone. And if your baby sleeps, I'm jealous. But if he doesn't, or if she doesn't like mine, like, I feel you, I see you. We will sleep one day, I hope. I hope more than anything we sleep one day. And I will come back on whenever we do have this figured out. We're going to try to wean him from his night feed or his like mid-morning, early morning feed, because I mean, even if he does wake up, because if we do wake up at 4, sometimes he doesn't go back to sleep, and so it's like, what's the point? So we're just gonna hopefully train his brain to just like, if he wakes up then try to go back to sleep and just drop that feed, because usually he's up 30 minutes to an hour later, so it doesn't really make sense. And homeboy, I ain't getting up at 5, okay? I miss my sleep. And some days we do have to get up at 5. And Another thing, I'm rambling, I'm so sorry. If you don't make it through the end, that's okay. But another thing is we don't get him out of his crib before 6 a.m. Much research on like tips on how to get your baby to sleep past early hours in the morning, and so we just try our best to teach his body and brain like we don't get up before 5. So even if you're awake, you're still going to be in your crib, and sometimes he just plays, sometimes he's crying, but I usually sometimes even try to push him to 6:30, which 6:30 is sleeping in around here. If he makes it to 6:30, it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a good day, we're gonna party, hopefully he won't be overtired, because honestly Braylon doesn't sleep that much. So when he does sleep good, it's like victory. And honestly, like, his sleep has made my husband not want another baby. He's like, I'm not doing this again. And there's been many mornings at 4 a.m. I'm like, I'm never doing this again. But then I just have hope that maybe my next baby is going to be a rock star sleeper, like all these babies that I see on YouTube. We can hope, right? And if not, we're prepared, we're ready, we have the tools, kind of. We don't have all the tools because Braylon's still not sleeping through the night, but we're going to wean that feed, and hopefully in a couple weeks I can get back to with you guys and be like, I'm sleeping through the night, it's so great. Hopefully. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was like ramble city because that's what I do. I don't really plan my videos. I sometimes do it in my head. I just kind of speak on what's in my brain, and this video has literally been in my brain for so long. Huge reason why I wanted to start YouTube, but I was just like always waiting, oh, when we have it figured out. But guess what? We don't have it figured out, and that's okay. It's a big struggle, and we're struggling with it. My husband and I are both like at our wits' end. We're ready to sleep. We're ready to sleep through the night. So yeah, it's real. It's real life. If you're in our boat, I'm sorry, but you're not alone. And try not to compare your babies to others. I do it all the time, and it's really hard, but this is just the way that God made him, and we love him no matter what. So I'm gonna go try to rest. Actually, maybe I can get some rest while he's resting, because Mama's been up since like 4, which is very usual. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you are not subscribed, I'd love for you to join the fam. And it really supports my channel. My goal for this whole is just to reach lots of other people, mamas, not mamas, if you're interested in any of this. So it really supports my channel if you subscribe. So thank you guys so much. Bye.